Gee, I think we got one.
It's your boy Monfrier, also known as LRW3. We got a new, y'all call it, mini series of the Talk to Be Nice podcast. We're still trying to figure out a name. Hopefully, I have a name by the time this video comes out. We don't know. But here with me, I got my co-host. If y'all want to introduce yourselves, let the people know where they can find y'all at.
I'm Diamond, aka Lacie's Visuals. Lacie's _visuals on Instagram, same Facebook, and Snapchat, DHUDD. YouTube, Lacie's Visuals.
I'm Doss, at King Doss on every platform on social media.
Alright, so y'all know what we here to do today. This segment of the podcast focus on local musicians and just giving feedback and hopefully giving them a spotlight for their music and the things they're doing. Now again though, this is still Talk to Me Nice, which means we will still be honest here. So we definitely all positivity, but if there's somebody who needs some work, something that needs to happen, we gonna go ahead and let it be known, man. And if y'all don't let it be known, I'm gonna let it be known that y'all not letting it be known. So hopefully we good there. Now, in future episodes, like I said, I would prefer more artists. So it's not just one artist, more just local musicians sending their music. We give an honest opinion on that song. But today, I guess we're gonna just do a whole project. The project is called Please Forgive Me. It's by an artist named Rashad Yung. Shout out to him. He wasn't able to make it today. I asked him if there's something he wanted to be said before we listen to his music. He just said, please forgive me was a look into my mind, bringing an emotional atmosphere to life. It actually happened by accident, but during the recording process, I started to hear a masterpiece. So those were his words in regards to his take. Now, we'll see how y'all feel about that once we hear the song. I like it. Yeah, I like it. So he gets some points for that. Now, this isn't random. We got a couple of, on the music review, there's a couple of things we're looking to. We're gonna rate them from 1 to 5, 1 being, go back to work on that a little bit. 3 being average, and 5, some of the best you ever heard. So everything can't be a 5. If you say everything's a 5, we're gonna have to call you out on it. Everything's not a 5. So again, everything's rated 1 to 5, and then once we hear all the songs, we'll give an overall opinion on the album, and then of course just state what your best song is. And the 4 categories we're paying attention to: beat selection, how that beat sound, the sound quality. So if he sound like he recorded it in his bathroom, we're gonna let him know, hey, respectfully, might need to change that engineer because it's holding back your music. The hook. So if they have a hook on the song, that hook keep your attention, or that hook just wasn't it. And the verses. So, man, with how you rapping basically, how is your actual content? Those are the 4 things we're looking into. Again, all those, after each song, we're gonna run through those 1 to 5, and we're gonna figure it out from there. But other than that, we're gonna try to keep it in order. I don't know if it's in order, but again, this is Rashad Yung, Please Forgive Me. His first song on here is called On Top. So
Gee, I think we got one.
The first song, man.
No matter the circumstance. So keep doing you. Keep shining. Keep your foot on niggas' necks.
When will it stop now? Niggas gonna hate you so much, they gon' talk now. But I gotta keep it going, let me stop now. Gotta say the bus around, I'm at the top now. I'm at the top now.
That's Rashad Yung. That's the first song on the tape called On Top. But we get into grade and opinions on that song as far as
He caught me by surprise.
I like the first one came like that. He gonna have stuff on the first.
yeah, I like it. Now the beginning of the song was kind of slow. It was a lot of, but I know as somebody who rap, you waiting on the beat to drop. I probably would have cut a little bit off the front end of the beat just so.
Looking at that like intro type?
Yeah, that was the intro. So that's
a
what.
story. Like, is it telling a story?
I guess we'll figure that out as we listen. But that's the first song. I like the first song.
His verse caught me off guard though. He sang something in his verse.
Okay, so I like that. How you just transition. So let's rate it then. Beat selection, 1 to 5. How y'all feeling the beat itself?
It's a 3, it's a 5.
Alright, so average beat.
But I say 2. I feel like I heard it before.
Yeah, you can tell the beat wasn't the main focus of that song. It was more, he wanted to keep it more focused on him. Sound quality, how did it sound as far as his actual vocals on the beat?
Engineering?
Yeah, I guess that's more engineer focused.
What we
What's the rate of the engineer?
1 to 5. Everything's 1 to 5 on this.
I would say a 2.
A 2.
It didn't sound like.
It definitely could have been mixed a little bit better if we're being honest. That doesn't really fall on him, that's more the engineer, but if it's about making people better, might need to look into that. It might be holding back a little bit the song potential just because of how it sounds.
I agree.
But no, I think that's a fair one. As far as the hook, I know you said you didn't like the hook, so I bet not hit no 5. What you thinking?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a strong 3. It's average.
Average hook, okay.
I would say so.
And that makes sense for the intro. Yeah, you didn't want to go too hard on the intro, you wanted to focus. So about the verse, what y'all think about his verse?
He was talking.
He was saying something. He delivered it.
It matched what you were saying earlier before. What you want to tell you?
Okay, alright, so I like that. I think that's a fair rating of that first intro. So that's a good way. We all agree that's a good way to start your tape though.
Yeah,
That's a strong way. This next song is called Preaching Pain. I've heard the tape before, so I'm gonna flat out say this is probably the best song on the tape. So usually when you line up your tape, you say your best song is you supposed to be using track 4. He came right to track 2 with it. So I mean, it's just my opinion, but this to me is probably the best song on the tape I can listen to next, called Preaching Pain.
I don't know nobody no church, but I be preaching pain. Niggas switch up on me, dog, but I remain the same. I'ma keep it solid, dog, and ain't gon' never change. I've been sitting here wishing that I see better days. I've been going through some things I know I can't explain. But through it all, I promise to remain the same. I'm just trying to get this shit up out the mud. Any nigga hate can get this shit right back in blood.
Why do you think that's a good song? You can relate to it?
I like the song. I like the message behind it. You can tell what he's saying is something that was heartfelt. So I'm big on messages. I'm big on content. It's just all. I like the beat. I like the hook. The way it's one of those engineer came together on it. I like the little drop. It flowed perfectly. Like
I feel you. I like the song, but I don't feel no originality at all.
Okay. Why you say no originality?
It's a vibe. I just feel like I heard a little dirt.
Think it's more in the little dirt realm. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. I like the honesty.
I like the song, but
I like the honesty right there.
It's I feel like I play it while I'm riding the car.
See, I'm big on where these songs supposed to be played. Now, I've seen him perform this song. So when he performed that song went crazy. So,
I believe it.
yeah, so the song, I'm big on what's your goal. So this song clearly was supposed to be in the club type song. And it banged in the club, so it worked in the club. I see the label. But it's not one of those deep, intrusive ones where you sitting back like, okay, man, out the struggle type thing. It's just one of those you just ride and do it. I done rolled to the song a few times. It's a good riding song. So that makes sense though when you say it's not original.
I like creativity when it comes to music. I want to hear what's different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So let's go rate this one up. Beat selection. How we feeling the beat?
I think it's average beat.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's more his style now. I think he's choosing those type of beats like that. That might just be it.
He probably can sing more on them.
Yeah, I think those are the beats he's looking for because it's 2 of them I think are through 2. So the beat selection I think that might just be his pocket. As far as the sound quality, what y'all think on the sound?
It was better than the first one.
Yeah, you can tell. I feel like it was more work put into that one, especially little small things like letting the beat fade out and come back in. I felt like it was more effort put into that song, which is why also I could tell that's probably was the song he thought would be the one. Yeah, because he put more time into actually putting it together. The hook, that's what on this hook. I like the hook. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not giving nobody else. You gonna have to work real hard to get a 5. So I'll probably get a hook of 4 because 4 is above average. That is an above average hook to me. And the way he put it together. But how y'all feel on that?
I like that. I could stop.
Yeah, so you got the little, he really he's setting the vibe. He ain't gotta catch the vibe. He's setting the vibe with his words. You know how to kind of bounce to it.
Yeah.
I like that before.
Alright, so we give him a 4 on the hook. What about the verse?
I like his words. Give him a 4 on it. I mean the verse.
The verse is rated out of what?
1 to 5. Everything 1 to 5.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
Alright.
1.5.
I can't give him okay, so it's a 3. I can't go with
Hey man, that's how you feeling. We here for honesty, man. We like that. But overall, in your opinion, overall song, what y'all think?
I like the song. I would definitely play it.
I just Justice, No Peace is the next song on this tape.
Alright, in this country that don't give a fuck about me. They thought we was playing, though wishing and praying, so we had to take this shit straight to the street. And we can't get justice, you can't get no peace. We burn this shit down and I hope they can sleep. This is the reason we out in the street. And we can't get justice, you can't get no peace. We gotta fight for our rights to live in this country that don't give a fuck about me. They thought we was playing, though wishing and praying, so we had to take this shit straight to the street. And we can't get justice, you can't get no peace. We burn this shit down and I hope they can sleep. This is the reason we out in the street. And we can't get justice, you can't get.
So we back with No Justice, No Peace, man. Opinions on what y'all heard.
It's definitely more of a.
I like it. Way better than anything I heard from him so far.
Okay, so that's your personal favorite. Alright.
I like the dance, so I'm in that. I like that.
One thing I will say, as far as constructive criticism, you gotta be honest to who you are. You're not big enough to be taking a minute before you start rapping every
I
song.
was gonna say that.
Right.
He took a minute.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, that's my dog, and I know the song is good, but if I just happened to cut him on, I would have cut the song off before I ever heard you
Yeah, I
rap.
was about to say, I'm gonna agree. I would have never heard that.
Yeah, I would have never got to the actual dope part of the song. It's like, it's 3 songs. Now, the intro, I gave a pass on because it's the intro. You might can do that. But this the 2 out of 3 songs. Took a minute to talk. I like that song a little bit more when I just heard it, man, this time.
He talking on that.
Yeah, he talking on it, for real. So, alright, let's jump into the grading on this, man. Beat. Is the beat any better than the other ones, or we still gonna average beat?
I think it's the hardest beat that he had so far. I'm gonna go with 4.
4 on that beat. Alright.
I'm gonna go 4 on the beat.
Alright, y'all both on 4 on the beat. Sound quality. How does it sound compared to the other ones? Is there still work to be done?
Definitely.
I still feel like whoever's engineering it, it's on the engineer. I feel like that's a better engineer because, like, I shouldn't be able to tell you got auto, like the way his auto tune is, I shouldn't be able to tell you got auto tune. I think it's supposed to sound more natural. That falls more on the engineer though than him. It's a couple of times it just sounds like his engineer, somebody should say step back from the mic a little bit. But
Yeah.
overall, it's still not bad quality at all, but it could be, it could be better. The hook itself, what y'all think about the hook?
I like the hook.
I'm looking for it. We went on 5 step.
Yeah, give it a 5, he talking.
I'm gonna give him 5 on the verse.
5 on the verse and the hook? Oh, what about you on the verse?
I'm gonna agree.
Oh.
He wrote that song. He did what he was supposed to do.
Alright, so that means
If
based
he
on
get a better engineer, that song will be something you can push.
that's a fact. So, alright, so based off y'all ranking right now, this is the top song y'all heard off.
Yeah,
that's good.
Alright, so now this is the one we compared it to. We're gonna see if another song can beat this one. That's left on the tape. Now the next song, remember I told y'all usually your hit's supposed to be track 4.
Okay.
So and when you set it up, so the next song is called Rider. It's featuring Serion Lost. Serion's also dope as well. I probably have some of his stuff on here eventually.
He local too?
Yeah, he local as well. So shout out Serion. We gonna listen to track 4, man, and see. This one's called Rider.
She gon' ride, she a rider. Yeah, she gon' ride, she a rider. Yeah, she gon' ride, she a rider. When it's time to slide, I know she gon' be rider. Gotta run that back up 'cause I wanna be her provider. Gotta keep her tight right by my side, I'm rider. She gon' ride, she gon' ride.
Alright, Rider. Opinions on that?
Definitely catchy. It's not being the last one, but it's better than the first one.
It's a vibe. It definitely is a vibe. Like we were saying, because Cameron probably didn't pick it up. He is the king of the ad-libs though. Like you ain't gotta sing the actual lyrics. You sing the ad-libs with it too and just keep vibing.
Going crazy.
I like that. Now, again, track 4 is supposed to be that track. Is this the right spot for that?
I mean, it deserves it at the top, but it ain't the hit of it.
So it deserves to be on the tape, just probably not track 4.
I'll go with track 3.
Yeah, I like Christian Pain, but I probably would have put those 2 back to back still. But I guess it all depends
The
on
first song don't even go with this album.
Yeah, not yet. We gotta see if it flows together. Right now, I can agree, but that might be why this is here. It all depends. I guess what's the vibe of the rest of the tape.
That's like
Is he transitioning to more
I'm
R&B?
gonna say that's like a female song. Like that's something they're going about to. Like some K-Camp type stuff.
Emotional justice.
Yeah, so he kind of touched. I guess it all depends how the rest of it goes. Because if you going all like to the females next, then I see why you start here. You get those 2 out the way and you just go straight. But if you about to jump right back to the conscious, I I don't know if that's the right spot for it. But definitely, all right. So let's grade this up real quick, man. Beat. Are we back to the average beats or?
I don't even remember that.
I do. But it ain't like
If the beat is not memorable, I'd say that's probably a 2 beat. Then it's less than average. Don't even an average.
I remember his hook though. See everybody? You were saying,
Yeah.
I remember the hook. I give it a 3.
So we give it like an average beat hook. What we think? I'm gonna give it a 2. Okay.
Oh, you talking about the hook?
Yeah, the hook.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I was talking about the beat.
I like the. What about the verse? I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna give this verse a 2. But this was not the most lyrical verse. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that. I'm gonna have to agree with you because I don't remember nothing you said. I just remember the flow.
Yeah, especially like with the love songs, you're not supposed to be super lyrical, so the verse wasn't never gonna be too crazy anyway. But I still got graded. Still too.
I just remember the shit about it. I really don't remember.
Yeah, like that was.
But it was cool.
Yeah, that was the memorable. So we giving a dope hook. The verse was what it's supposed to be. You're not really. That's like any love song. You're not really supposed to be singing. You're supposed to go right back where you put a hook to start singing. So I guess we'll leave it at that. All right, let's move to this next one. This is gonna be important to see because now I guess we all starting to figure out, wow, what's your song slate? Why you putting these songs in the score? Is the main question. So hopefully it figures it out the rest. The next one is an interlude called Elevate. So we'll see what vibe comes next on.
When they work, I'ma pull up in heaven. Think I got these niggas all confused. These niggas really watching how I move. So I'ma have to slap him with the tool. I think it's time to meditate. Mindset in a different state. Take the drum right to the head, cause this is how I medicate. Gotta keep it silent till I get up to the heaven gate. But in the meantime, y'all can watch a nigga just elevate. I'm about to elevate. I'm about to elevate.
Yeah, he the king of the ad-libs right now, man. The behind the words hooks be crazy. That's what you keep vibing to, is just that behind it. But what y'all think about this?
that one threw me off.
See, this is the first one we don't like. I like the honesty. This is why I chose y'all, man. We don't like Elevate.
I was not expecting that. Yeah.
I heard like 3 different songs I already heard in it.
Okay, I like that. I like
I
that.
feel like he don't know what voice he want to use.
Yeah, there was a lot of changes in the
I literally heard that like pull up in it.
I think that now I gotta shoot him some bell. I think that was it had to be intentional with that. That had to be intentional.
That's what I don't like about it. It's about music. Like nothing is true.
Okay.
Like we remaking stuff. That. They just dropped that. Yeah.
And that might be why, trying to call back to the hits. That's the thing though, a lot of rappers now, like
Our kids can
yeah, they try they piggyback off of that. Not saying that's what he was doing, of course, but a lot of rappers do that.
Now that I know he could rap,
Yeah, I
if
think
I was his homeboy, I was like, that's not acceptable.
I think that's kind of what you already showed us you can rap too well for us to accept it. So the actual talent at that point is kind of we can't accept that.
Exactly.
Do better.
Exactly.
Now,
That should have never been.
all right, so let's it was an interlude, so let's go shoot something out. Let me ask y'all this, cause the only thing too we just discussed, we just had a love song that sounded more conscious again. That probably should have came after Preaching Pain maybe, or No Justice No Peace. Should that have been put before the Rider song? Yeah. Shouldn't be put on the album. All right, let's beat selection. Did we like the beat any better than any of the other beats we like? Or do we still think an average beat?
Yeah, that's so fine. He too good to do that.
Oh, see, that's a more cop-out song. That do feel like a filler song, and we only like a little bit over halfway through the tape. You can't be, if you got a 10 song to say,
preaching. He was preaching in the beginning.
yeah, we still waiting on the preaching, we give him that, but yeah, I think it's too early to start putting out what sounds like filler songs in your tape, because if you're already coming with the fillers halfway through the tape, I don't know how the back end of the tape's gonna sound. So, I mean, you can throw a filler in there, but if you got a 12 album song, the fillers need to start around track 9 or 10.
Right.
We at like track 5 or 6, so that's a little concerning. We're gonna see how the rest of it goes. But the actual sound part, I still think he needs a better engineer. That engineer's holding back.
Definitely.
I think that's, to me, the quality is average at best on the songs, but I don't think it's due to him. I think it's due to who's ever mixing it or maybe he's just going to the hard mix and he's not actually doing the mix and master. I don't know, but
I think if we gonna give him advice, we need to tell him we're not looking for fans, we're being true to ourselves.
yeah,
Cause he can spit.
yeah, he can rap.
He can spit.
He's definitely versatile though. 'Cause you never know what the next song is gonna sound like.
But I agree with that one. Like he might still be looking for his sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Trying to figure out where he coming from.
Alright, so the hook. What about the hook? I guess he did have the hook. He kept saying everything. So
Oh yeah.
what we rating the hook? We rating the 2 on this.
I'm gonna do 2 everything.
2 everything. Okay, so it's fair to say this is our least favorite of the tape at this point. Alright, so hopefully he can rebound, man. We're gonna jump to the next one. It's TBKU. I know it's the acronym for something. I don't know what the acronym is for. Y'all think about that?
I heard it.
I would want to shoot a video for it, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think this would be a dope visual. I can see. I think that would be. I think this song is a song that would need a visual to kind of take it to the next level.
I can agree with that.
I'm not gonna lie. This might have been my least favorite one on the tape. This is the first one, and maybe it's the beat. The beat felt like it was good. It felt like this was the first good beat the way it came in, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be based off what I know he can do. So
I agree.
that's the only thing. I just rate it up real quick. What y'all think about it?
It's still air well. He's talking about holding it down. Can't we talking about the specific or just
Beat selection. Is it an average beat or what are we doing on this one?
That beat was tough.
Yeah, that's why I said it was the best beat, man. It was the best beat of the tape to me, man. The way it came in, I thought he was. Now, to be clear, he flowed on every song. The way there's like cadence is there, but it's like
every time I go with the beat.
sound quality. I don't like this. This might be my least favorite sound quality too.
It's like with airway. What's a lot going on?
Yeah, I didn't like this one as far as the actual. That goes on the engineer. I'm gonna stand firm. You need a new engineer, but. Immediately he's holding you because the engineer, and that's the thing though, like a lot of these songs, yeah, a lot of these songs you can see what he was doing. That engineer could have tied it together better, but when he left you out there, we kind of hear what you were trying to do, but it didn't get there. A good engineer could have tied that together. Hook, what about the hook? The hook was, if we be honest, the hook was kind of not memorable this time.
Even somebody's homies though, wasn't he?
I know that they don't know us. I understand that's what that was acronym for.
I didn't remember that until you just said that.
But this song did not keep my attention, if I'm just being honest. But verse. Alright, so we kind of on a streak in a bad way right now.
I don't remember the song.
First 4 were crazy, and then the last 2. The first 4 was crazy. The 5th one was okay. The last one was suspect. So
5 wasn't it. 5 was not it.
5 is when it started getting bad.
Yeah.
And I'm worried because usually you don't hide your best songs at the end of your tape. They kind of go down from there. This next song is called Teach Me, and I mean, let's go from there.
And I'll be your student tonight. Baby, won't you teach me? Show me how to love you right. Cause you're the one I'm pleasing. I promise I'ma get it right. Girl, you got me feeling. So let me study you tonight. Girl, you gotta teach me. Yeah.
I like the chorus. I give the chorus average.
I gotta be honest, he's taking too long to get to the part of the song. Like I watched it was 30 seconds before he started. Unless you're Drake, you can't wait that long to start. You need to get within the first 10 seconds.
Drake.
Unless you're Drake can wait. You'll wait 2 minutes before you.
No, he that finally really that's the only song I love that.
Yeah, like if you got a clear fan base, then you can take your time to like. Y'all, I know y'all gonna wait for me to rap. If you know, you gotta be honest, bro. Like if you ain't a top tier song or artist. They cut it off before you ever got. Like we were reviewing it, I probably would have cut it off before you ever stopped. Like saying we just being real. I like the beat, but the beat felt like another beat. Like it felt like something I heard before.
But I'm so talking about they got that
just booming. Like that's the engineer not leveling it out. That go back, you need a better engineer. That song could have been 10 times better had it been engineered.
That's what I listen to. Like, I wouldn't have said this.
No, I probably.
That do sound like a song. Let me be honest, that sound like a song you're supposed to have sex to.
It was definitely a song I'm supposed to have sex to, but that wasn't it. I wouldn't put it on a playlist.
That's my man, some bill. It's not that bad. I had to focus on the actual lyrics. That engineer gotta be swapped. A better engineer could have made that song.
Oh, definitely, but an engineer makes songs like that.
That's a fact. I need to know who's engineering this project, because this engineer has held down.
I hope I don't personally know this engineer.
If I do know this engineer, constructive criticism, man, you gotta get back to it, man. This whole. It's a couple of these songs that could have been a lot better had they been engineered. Not to say they're bad, but they could have definitely been better. And like especially now when we kind of like it's going down, you ain't like in the first couple of songs. That engineer, he kind of held the song back, but the song was still undeniable.
And I don't think that we're holding his songs like to anything but other than what we know they could be.
That's true, because he's clearly versatile. He clearly can rap, and a lot of these, if we put it with a lot of these songs are a cop out at this point.
Exactly.
Like it's just
he could have gave us an EP.
Yeah, if he would have came with an EP with probably a 5 song, that's fire. But right now, it just feels like we trying to hit a number at this point. I don't know, beat selection.
I like the beat.
One of the better beats on the tape. It's like before you had the average beats, but it was being carried by good lyrics and good like content. But now it's like on the back end, we got the crazy beats we wanted, but now it's like reversed.
That is true. That is true.
I like the beat selection. The beat was to me is a 4 beat. I don't give out 5. You gotta be crazy for a 5, but
I'm gonna agree with the 4.
Same.
sound quality is a 1. This is the first one. I hated the way it came on. If I gotta turn your song down so we can actually hear it, that's a 1. That go back on the engineer, not him. But you gotta check. That go on him too. You gotta check your engineer. But I done checked my engineer a few times, but I don't sound good. Like that should have been corrected before it came out. I give it a 1.
He said teach me a lot though. It was like, I think that's all he did, right?
Yeah, teach. I think so. It might be. He floats on every song. It's like, yo, I can't get doing it. It's like, I want to give it to you because you always sound smooth, but when you really start listening, it's like you smooth as hell, but you just that's kind of where it ends at right there. So we start really like going into it. The verse. What about the verse? I think he kind of took off too early in the beginning of the tape. So now we holding you against you, and that's not even if we're holding it against the other like rough songs. It's a reason why it's on the back end of the tape. Yeah. So alright, we gonna jump to this next. This one's called Lick. It says featuring the Chaz Louie. I don't know if the Chaz is local, but
yeah, he from Fort Valley.
He is.
That brother singing. Yeah.
Alright, well shout out him. I just didn't know him, but we gonna hear this next one.
I can get you to bust and make your body shake. Hey, baby, you so nasty. Running in my ear, I got you saying, oh, fuck me, daddy. Got a move so high.
I knew he was gonna stop it, but I want to hear it try. Yeah, I wasn't feeling better, but I wanted to hear it feature.
Okay.
Leave. Oh, baby, can I get a lick from your head to your toes? And I wanna move to the bed, down to the floor. And I wanna.
See, Chaz, you made me look bad. I personally know you, man. You made me look bad.
Came with somebody old song. He singing somebody's old song.
That is
And then to the happy person to sing somebody else's song. He can sing though. He can clearly sing.
I personally know, bro, and that was not it.
Bro, you can tell at this point.
I felt bad. You know, like when you tell somebody your son good at basketball, you got
that. Bro, I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. You can tell this is the end of tape songs at this point. Cause you're not kidding. It's like I'm just trying to do this for a song, bro. The engineer sound like he ain't even attempt to do nothing with it, bro.
At this point, I really feel like the engineer not feeling.
Yeah, the engineer is not, cause it's like the engineer was not good at the beginning, but he just don't care at this point, bro. Like he ain't trying to fix nothing. It ain't no like, hey,
bro, pay up.
It's like, bro, it's like at the end, you can tell the session probably had like 20 minutes left, bro. We not going over. You say you got 2 more songs to do. Alright, just sing your stuff through, bro. I just mix it down. Like,
Exactly.
it's like you can tell this is the end of the song, bro.
That song was bad from the jump though. It took way too long.
Yeah, they got those beats gotta be cut off from the beginning.
The hook was.
I'm giving that hook a 0.
The hook,
It wasn't even like a vibe.
it wasn't even. I think he's too talented right now. You're like dependent on the cadence too much. When you rap too well for that at this point.
He's way too good to be giving this.
Like if it was somebody else who started lower, I might give you that because I understand where your talent level was at. But you done showed us your talent level is a little too high to give you that now.
Way too soon.
Yeah, I'm not
From Malcolm X to this.
Just
out of respect, we not gonna rate that one. That's just not. I think we can all I think opinions was kind of clear on that from the jump.
Okay, I ain't want to rate it, so I respect that.
Yeah, it's all about that. Wasn't the engineer. A lot of these songs could be like this. Could be a 3 song if we was gonna rate it. If the engineer cared a little bit, that song is one of those songs. It could have respectively been on the tape. You probably just don't listen to it. Like
yeah.
yeah, it's one of those. If you just happen to be cleaning up and it was playing, you wouldn't run to change the song. But you might still be waiting on it to go off, but you wouldn't go out your way.
You're talking to phone.
Yeah. But right now, bro, I don't care if I'm upstairs cleaning. I'm coming downstairs to check this song, bro. That's not it. I'm going back to the beginning of the tape. All right, this song. We gonna move to the next song. This song. If there's any song right now, this is another good song on the tape, in my opinion. I've heard this one before, so
That's crazy that it didn't went through that many songs to get to it.
that goes with being honest with yourself, man. If you only got 7 songs, I know some artists do that. They'll hide a few of them in the back. But if you're not a big artist, they not gonna hear the one in the back. They cut it like, bro, if we were not doing a music review, we would have not listened past the first 2 songs. That'd have been it. There's no way we get to this song, bro, unless we're doing this right now.
Right.
So you gotta be on front load your tape, bro, and then when they cut it off, then hey, they ain't miss nothing. But I don't know, man. But this one's called Rainbows in the Morning. So hopefully it's only 2 songs left. So this one and another one. So if he gonna end or get it back, he might get it back here. So.
Out in the streets and all you can't go, you can't stay in your lane, bro. That's how the game goes. Woke up this morning, looked in the sky and seen a rainbow. So I gotta keep my head up and let the pain go. Cause it's something about the rainbows in the morning. The morning. Cause it's something about the rainbows in the morning. The morning.
I like that hook a lot. You talking? I like that hook.
That hook is fire. That verse was too long though.
I like it. I agree with it.
Let me let y'all hear something. Have you ever heard Watch Your Homie by Drake? I mean by Lil Durk?
No. Now you did mention Lil Durk before.
Bro, it's fast forward.
It do sound like it. Even the actual the vocals sound like
But I'm a Durk dude. That's what I listen to. So. Let me see if I listen to the hook. The whole thing. Even the after. That's why I knew that you probably didn't, listen to Durk. He just if he put that into something different, because lyrically there. You know what I'm saying? His delivery on every song is there. He can deliver. We know that. His cadence is there.
he bodied that hook though. I like
That hook is scary.
But
But he sounds just like Durk. But I listen to Durk, so I'm gonna catch that.
I think that verse should have been split into 2 verses.
Yeah, that verse was long as hell.
Yeah, it came too long, and then with the way the beat was, you could have easily split that up and still did what you needed to do. Cause I found myself just waiting on him to come back into the where you can't go
It was a good song though, overall. And the placement of it is terrible.
Yeah, that song should have been front loaded with the rest of them. That probably should have been track 5 or 6 in that lineup. But it was definitely better than what the last few were doing. But it might have been too little, too late at the end of this project.
I would have never heard it.
Yeah, most people wouldn't have heard it at that point just because of that. But alright, I think let's rate this one, man. Beat selection. You feeling the beat?
Yeah, the average is like 3.
So it's kind of like he back how he was. It's like an average beat. Like the average beats might be his pocket because you got to do more. I think he's dependent when he get a good beat on the beat. And and the beat's not saving because the engineer's not good enough. Like, that should be honest. The engineer's not good enough. That's. I mean, sometimes you gotta
be like that.
When you got a good beat, then you can kind of get away with a little bit more. But your engineer still gotta put you in the game, like somewhat. Like the engineer really just sound like he hit the record button and like took a break, bro. Like didn't even hear nothing when you got done. He just saved it, and that's not on him. The only way I would say it's on him because you gotta check your engineer, bro. Like you gotta let him. That's not it, man. Or maybe it's one of those. Maybe you went for the hard because I don't know if y'all record like that. For people who don't know, it's two different things you can do when you go to the studio. When you go record, they'll do a hard mix. That's just your vocals. They ain't doing nothing extra. But then they got a mix and master, which is usually more. Right. That's when they actually dive deep in and actually like correct little things. So maybe you did just get the hard mix and the engineer gave you what you paid for. But that might have been on some of these songs, might have been worth that extra couple of dollars to get the mix and master. That's because it's becoming
some of these songs. Whatever you pay for them could have been using other songs because we ain't need them other songs.
Yeah, some of this, I don't know how many, I didn't count it. It's probably 12 songs on here. This probably could have been an 8-song project.
And it would have been strong.
Yeah, it would have been strong. Cause some of these verses is crazy, some of these hooks is crazy, but they're not on the same songs. So you could have took a verse from there and a hook from there and actually had another dope song. Cause you could tell it shouldn't be as obvious where the major work in the project came at. And it's kind of obvious, it's in the front of the project.
Yeah.
Everything else sound, and he did state that he didn't initially start it out looking for a project. He just kind of decided it to be one. So, are some of these songs after you decided that you were doing a project and you just need to fill it out? Would be my question, and I don't know.
The hook is strong. I'll probably, if I was top, I'll probably get 4 on the hook.
That hook is crazy. That hook is going back to his pocket because he can float on any beat. That's apparent. But sometimes I think he's becoming too dependent on the fact he can get away with just floating on it. Because I mean, unless we was really doing like a review like we doing now, we wouldn't even have thought that deep into it. Would have just let him have it.
That's true.
So I think that's now because we're paying attention is why it's getting spotlighted more. So now we're paying attention. We know you can float on it. We're not giving you that no more. So I think that's why it's coming a little bit harder to grade him.
Right.
Alright, so let's jump to the last song on here called Last Words, man.
From the dog and ain't no one to sing. Can't cry by the past, a distant memory. Maybe my last word, so I hope this how you remember me. Cause you know what it was. Pain all on my head, it got me stuck. Heart has turned, I can't do no love. So if I die, they can put one up.
I like this song, I do. But I originally just started thinking this song sounds exactly like Preaching Pain. But that's what I just started thinking about when he just the same cadence, it feel like it's the same beat. Like all I wait for you to say is Preaching Pain. Like, but
honestly, it sounds like the song we just heard. In my opinion, it all sounds like Dirt. Me personally, I would listen to him because I listen to Dirt. You know what I mean? It just sounds.
I never seen the Dirt till you said that because I don't listen to Dirt like that. But ever since you said that, I can't get out. It do sound like Dirt.
That one sounds exactly like his voice sounds exactly like that. But he, yeah, I think he's trying to find it because he's kind of different.
I think he might have the curse of being because he's talented to the point that you can do too much, and now that's the issue because if you can only do like some people can't they can't rap. So they gotta kind of do what they do. They ain't got no choice. He can actually rap. So now,
it's hard not to hold him to a standard.
Yeah, so I think now because he can do everything, he don't know what he want to do, and that's becoming like you sound like Dirk sometimes. Like, and my thing that makes me a little upset when I really listen, you only had 1 or 2 verses you was really going, and you showed us you could go. So it's like
going though.
You kind of choosing not to rap at this point. So I mean, overall, he's talented. I like that. I like that song. I think it's the songs. It was 2 or 3 songs in a row that kind of just took down the energy of the tape. That I think, because these last 2 songs, had they been played before those 2, I think we would look at them differently. But I think at the end of the day, we all know we would have never heard these songs had we not been doing a review on them. So you kind of got to be honest with that too. But that was the last song, man. So let's opinions on the overall tape. Do we like the way the songs flowed, or? I guess now, because I know we were talking about Ryder was in a bad spot, I guess Ryder makes sense now if you front loaded like all the guaranteed hits. Because after Ryder, we was like, that's kind of random. It turned out not to be random because after that, it wouldn't have maybe been heard. So you had to kind of put it there.
He's definitely an artist.
Yeah, he can do anything. He can R&B, he can rap, and I think that's the issue with this one because of the fact you didn't decide what you wanted to do, and you didn't body any of them. You just you were above average on most of them, all of them, but you didn't body just that one style. So like it was a few times like, oh, that sound like Jacquees, that sound like Dirk, that sound like so and so, but it was never just one sound. It was like, oh, that sound like
we ain't heard him yet.
Yeah, that's
I don't know who he is.
That's the thing. I like the tape. I don't want to sound like I don't. I do personally like the tape, which is why it was the first one that we did. We rating this project 1 to 5.
Whole project.
Whole project.
As a project. As a project, I'm gonna give it. But I like less than what I don't like. But I will download the ones I do like.
Now I thought it was a 12 project album, but now I think I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 3.7. Reason being. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 3. Reason being, I'm not gonna front. I was gonna probably say it was average at best when I thought it was 12, 13 songs, because I was like, well, we've been saying we only like the first 4 to 5, and then the last 2 at the end. So at that point, I was grading it as like 7 out of 13. That's average at best. Honestly, it might be a little below average if we being real. If it was 13 songs, I didn't realize till the last song it was only 10 songs. So now,
I think this album
5 to 6 out of 10 is not as bad. 7 out of 10 is not as now. The only issue is those misses were misses, like hard misses.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I think this album is exactly what average is, but we know his talent isn't average.
I think we are shooting bail based off of what you put. You could argue is average to slightly above average, but your talent is clearly above average. You just haven't figured out what you wanted to do, because the few songs you knew what you wanted to do, clearly above average. Had you had 5 Preaching Pains or the one y'all like, No Justice, No Peace song, you clearly a 4. So if you just basing off the talent, but it's like we need some more backstory as to when did you decide to just finish the project and how rushed was the project? Because at the end it sounded like, bro, we got like a week for this supposed to come out. Like, just do this. Or I don't know. Those 3 songs were really, maybe because it was in succession, it took it down. And
That makes sense.
he recovered, but only because it's a review and he had a chance to recover. He wouldn't have had a chance to recover if we were just listening to it. So, alright, well that kind of wraps up what we had today. Again, that was Rashad Yung. Please forgive me, it's streaming everywhere. Shout out to him, definitely dope project. Please fire your engineer. Other than that, anything y'all need to say, anything y'all want to say, man?
Keep doing you. Find your pocket. I don't think you need to find your pocket. You don't know where you go. But I like where you're going with it. You sound good.
I think you're a very talented man. I don't think you should let up no more. Like, just continue.
It's up.
Alright. Well, this was it of the first music review. Any local talent, if you got your music, you want us to review it, definitely tap in, send it to one of us. We'll make sure it get heard. We'll give our honest opinion. Other than that, I mean, it looks like we're done.